Hi, so what is chiropractic? What do we actually as chiropractors do? So let's have a look at this. Now this is a very crude diagram, but let's have a look at a bigger version of it. Now what we have here is we have the brain, this soft piece of jelly, fat, that sort of sits up there, about 3 kilograms, sits up there and gives off 12 miles of this beautiful network, 12 miles, which then sort of goes out and control 70 trillion cells in your body. 70 trillion cells. Amazing. Hi, Dr. Sandhu here from Bedford Chiropractic Clinic. What I want to do today is I want to answer the question of what is it that chiropractic is actually about. What do we actually do? Yes, you've watched those videos of seeing a chiropractor get those beautiful cracks out of the neck, out of the body and various joints. But why? Why do we do that? And what is the benefit of that, short term and long term? So here we have, as I said, we have this incredible nervous system, as it's called, which is basically the brain and all these nerves, the peripheral nerves that control every single cell in your body. For example, these 7 nerves here can go all the way down into your fingertips and control the little fingers right into there. You have the 12 thoracics, which control the rib cage and everything in between and inside. Then you have the lumbar spine, the 5 lumbar spine, the sacrum, the coccyx, and they form the sciatic nerve. And as you can see, there's a pattern. You've got these 7 that form the brachial plexus, which runs down to the fingertips, and you've got here the sacral plexus, the lumbosacral plexus, which runs down to your toes. So those 2 plexus, bundle of nerves, control all the way down to the toes and into the fingers. But what is it that chiropractors do? Well, one of the things we do is we actually check that nerve, make sure that nerve is firing properly. The other thing we do, follow me, the other thing we do is we look at this. Now this beautiful structure here of your skeleton, your bones, right, is incredible because this forms the actual scaffolding that everything sort of sits on, like for example the muscles. Now the muscles, the 5 layers in certain areas are just pieces of meat. And all they do is they sit there and they attach via tendons into bones and ligaments into sort of other muscles. And these ligaments, tendons and muscles actually control a joint. They move it for you. So if I want to move my elbow, I think about it and I decide that I want to straighten my elbow. So I create that thought and then the muscle message goes down to the muscles that control it. For example, the bicep, the triceps, the forearm muscle, supinator, reflex, supinator, pronator muscles in the forearm, the muscles that basically control that movement. And then I can move my arm. The only reason that happened was because the message went through, the electrical energy went out of my neck, down into my arm, into the muscles, and those muscles then contracted or relaxed, because that's what muscles do. And I was initiated that movement and completed the movement. So you have the nervous system, which actually controls everything. You have the muscles that engage and create movement, and you have the joints that create the scaffolding that the muscles sit on, attach to, and allow you to do all the wonderful things that you can do. And they all work together. They all work together. And of course, inside that skeleton, you have the organs, which is your physiology, which actually keep us alive and keep us working and allow us to breathe and to be alive. And those are the sort of the components of way that we move every day, the way we live every day. Now, let me explain something. If you just look up there at the light is on. Now, if all I do is I go to this light switch over here, okay, and I do that, right, now the light's not working. So if you imagine that is basically now a muscle that's either in spasm, right, or it's wasting away. Now, why would it be wasting? It'd be wasting away because the message from the brain, right, is not working. If you imagine that each one of these vertebrae that are in your spine is like a little switch box, a fuse box. So when I switch it on, the light comes on. When I switch it off, the light goes off. So would you agree with me, hopefully you will, that this is pretty damn important? Because if this is not switched on, that light's not going to come on. When this is not working, a muscle is not going to work because the message from the brain isn't getting there. Because remember what I said, muscles are just pieces of meat. And if the electrical stimulation from the brain doesn't get to it, the muscle is not going to react. It's like, for example, you may have done this experiment when we were allowed to, when we were young, if you're a similar age to me, where we had tadpole legs or frog's legs, and we would stick electrical electrodes to them, put electrical stimulation into them, and the legs would jump. And that was because even though all we had was the leg of a frog or a leg of a frog, because the electrical stimulation was going, the muscle was twitching. The muscle was twitching and it was working because muscles are pieces of meat and they work with the electrical stimulation from the brain. Now, I'm just going to grab a joint here. So when one of these joints here, right, is stuck, and this is one of the lumbar vertebrae, when this joint is stuck and it's not moving properly, then one of the nerves that comes out of that lumbar sacral plexus, I mentioned it earlier to you, it's just down here, yeah, and one of those nerves is being inflamed, aggravated. Some like to use the word pinched. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it aggravated, inflamed, then that nerve is not going to fire. So what's going to happen is that electrical stimulation is going to not work quite as well as perhaps as it should. So then what's going to happen then is that the muscle is not going to get that complete sort of power that it needs. Right, so then the muscle is not going to work as well as you want to. So I, as a chiropractor, well, my job is to check all those vertebrae, to check the joints, because I check all your peripheral joints as well here at Bedford Chiropractic Clinic, and to make sure that the joint is working as well as it can, so that the nerve is not inflamed, not aggravated, and is firing at 100% to make the muscle work. Now, the problem that we as humans have is that we don't always know when this has happened, where the joint has locked up, because we may not feel the pain or a spasm straight away, because the body is incredible at compensating. So one of the other joints above will do the work, until what happens then is that muscle gets tired, then this muscle will spasm. And that's when you get the pain. And that's when you think, oh, I better take some painkillers, I better rest. I better then eventually think of calling a chiropractor. Should be the first thought in your head, by the way. So when you come to me, I'm going to have a look and I'm going to examine your spine. I'm going to find out where the joint is most stuck. And then what I'm going to do with the cracks that you hear, but I use a very much more gentle process called an activator. We will then together work on getting that joint moving properly again, freeing the nerve and allowing the muscles and joints to work properly. And that's what we do as a chiropractor. So we are basically the electricians of your nervous system. We look after your nerves, we look after your joints, we look after your muscles. And by looking after all those three areas, we are going to make sure that you are able to do the things you want to do, that you're able to move, that you're able to work, you're able to have fun and live life as you should without any pain or symptoms. And that's what chiropractic is all about. I really hope that answers the questions. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section below. And I will get to them, I will answer them for you, and also give me ideas for other videos that you would like, because I really want to answer your question. If you may have about chiropractic, about nutrition, exercise, anything, because this channel is devoted to giving you information on how you can improve your health in so many ways, because without health, there is nothing. Health is your greatest wealth. Focus some attention on it and it will pay you back dividends. So, Dr. Sandhu, Bedford Chiropractic Clinic, we're here to serve you, we're here to help you. Share this video with people, share this video with loved ones, people you care for, share it with everybody, because people need to know how important chiropractic care is for their long-term health, not just for them, for their family and loved ones too. And I look forward to helping you improve your health as well, if you're in the Bedfordshire community. God bless you. Follow us on all our social media. Watch it for some of our other videos. There's other videos you can watch on my channel, which are there to help and inform you. And I look forward to serving you and helping you improve your health. God bless you. See you soon. See you at the next video. Watch out. Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel now.